Welcome to Upticks. I'm Jake Falcon, the founder of Falcon Wealth Advisors and your host of Upticks. Today is episode 136, 5 Common Retirement Mistakes. Okay, welcome back to the show. I hope all of you out there are staying safe and healthy during this horrible pandemic. For today's show, I wanted to go over 5 common retirement mistakes and things that you can do to avoid them. Okay, so we'll dive right into them. So we'll start off with number 5 is not having a written financial plan. Now, this may be obvious to our clients because most all of our clients at Falcon Wealth Advisors has a retirement plan. And all that simply is setting a stake in the ground saying, Jake, I want to retire at 50, 55, 60, 65, whenever that is. And we can work your investments, your saving, your income, all of that towards that goal. Now, the most important thing to remember, though, from my perspective, with the financial plan is that it is not a roadmap. So it is not set in stone. But the very big value here is that you have something tangible written down that you can review, update, and look at. It's looking at a projection. And if you've ever heard of those gurus who talk about goal setting in general. So let's say you want to lose weight, or you want to, travel or whatever, you want to make more money, whatever it is, they talk about writing down your goals, right? And some people argue putting them on a mirror, right? Like where you brush your teeth. I'm not suggesting that you put your financial plan on your mirror, but there's a lot of studies and arguments out there that by writing them down or having them in front of you, it provides a lot more clarity and focus, and hopefully will allow you to achieve your goals. So, table stakes: if you're listening or watching this or reading this, and you don't have a financial plan, certainly let me know. My team at Falcon Wealth Advisors, we're certainly happy to mock one of those up for you and help you get an idea and formulate some of those retirement goals. Okay, good. So number 4 common retirement mistake is not understanding how or where you're going to get health insurance. This is a big one for our clients at Falcon Wealth Advisors and something that we talk at length about. It's important. So you're going to have several options more than likely when you leave, and it's important that you have someone that you can lean on to help you make those decisions. That's part of the services that we offer at Falcon Wealth Advisors. So we'll take a look at your current health insurance benefits. We're not health insurance brokers, so we'll certainly bring in an outside agent to help you shop, and ideally an independent agent so that they are neutral to the fact that they can go and shop all the different avenues. So do you get on Obamacare? Do you use COBRA? Does your company allow for it? How far away from you are on Medicare? All of those things factor in, and you want to have at least an idea, and typically we round up, an idea of how much it's going to cost, and we want to plug that into the financial plan or into your budget so that we have it allocated. Typically, we like to bridge that if you're retiring before the age of 65, but it's important to remember the Medicare is not free. And so you also want to factor all of those things in. And again, very important, you want to make sure that you have health care or health insurance figured out, what your plan is, so that you're not caught off guard with that type of situation. Okay, good. So number three common retirement mistake is not knowing where your income is going to come from. How are you going to replace your salary? This is something that, again, I think is very important for individuals to understand. And actually, I went over this in last week's episode of Upticks where I talked about retirement withdrawal strategy. So that's episode 135. If you haven't checked it out yet, I encourage you to go check it out. I will talk at length in that episode about where you can pull income or how do you withdraw from your nest egg so that you can live off of it without it running out. Okay, so obviously Social Security also is another part of the income. So do you turn it on at 62? Do you wait until your full retirement age, which is probably in your mid 60s, or do you wait till it maxes out at 70? I'll tell you, there's no right or wrong answer on this one. Everybody's plan is a little bit unique. And so that's something that, again, our team at Falcon Wealth Advisors, we can help you crunch the numbers on. So Social Security, maybe you're lucky you get a pension, and then you've got this nest egg that needs to generate income. How are you going to do that? And again, there's some strategies out there that we deploy for our clients to make sure that they can have a withdrawal from their nest egg without running out. So again, check out episode 135, and I go into pretty great length on how to do that. Okay, good. So number 2, quick plug though, I'll take a quick time out here. If you're not already a subscriber of Falcon Wealth Advisors, I encourage you to subscribe here. Falcon Wealth Advisors Collective is our YouTube channel. Myself and Corey Bittner, my business partner, both have our own weekly shows. His is called In the Money Insight. It's out there on your favorite podcast platform, as well as right here on our YouTube channel. So if you're not a subscriber, feel free, mash that subscribe button. Also, if you want to give us a thumbs up, if you like our content, I think that allows more people to see it in YouTube's algorithm. So we greatly appreciate that. Okay, good. So back to the show. So number 2 was a number 2 retirement mistake that we see is not having your investments properly allocated. Far too often, new clients will come in and they'll have way too much money in stock or way too much money in cash or bonds. And that portfolio, while it may have served you well while you were working, perhaps might not serve you well while you're retired, because it's a completely different shift. While you're employed, you can certainly handle the daily, weekly, monthly, yearly fluctuations of the market because you're not pulling from the account. When you retire, those fluctuations are going to be very important. And one thing that we look for our clients is to have at least 5 years worth of income, not in stocks, right? So bonds, cash, something that's generating income that has a relatively low correlation with the stock market. We like that because when the stocks are going crazy and they're going up and down, they don't have to worry about that because that's their long-term bucket, that's their growth bucket. And that short-term bucket, we've got something that's more stable. So again, make sure that you have your assets allocated. Another problem that we help solve for our clients is a lot of our clients come to us with what's called a concentrated stock position. And all that simply means is that if you've worked at a publicly traded company, or could actually be private, but in most circumstances with our clients, it's a publicly traded company, you may have accumulated many, many shares of your employer's stock over the year. And technically, we call it concentrated if it makes up more than 20% of your liquid investments. Okay, so if you have $2 million and 400,000 is in one stock, that constitutes a concentrated stock. Now, I'm not saying that that's a horrible thing. I'm just saying it needs to be managed, and we need to talk about the risks and a diversification strategy on how we're going to do that. And I'll allude to this a little bit. One strategy that we love using for select clients would be selling covered calls. Now, again, that's a very advanced, complex strategy, not for the do-it-yourselfer. Certainly, you want to hire a trained, licensed financial advisor that knows what they're doing in that space. But if you want more information on that, let me know. We can have a one-on-one conversation. My compliance does not like me to talk about options on a broad level because, again, it can be very risky and very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, but that is definitely a way to help manage concentrated stock, which, again, will turn into potentially more income for you, which is what I was talking about earlier. And then, again, more importantly on this little point, having that allocation correct. Okay, good. So we're ready for the drum roll. We don't have a drum in here. So the drum roll, the number 1 retirement mistake we talk about and we really highly encourage our clients to avoid is not understanding what your purpose is going to be. And I know you may be thinking to yourself, really? I've got a financial guy talking about my purpose? Yes, I do. And the reason is you can have all of the money in the world, but if you're at home or on a beach or wherever you are and you're miserable, it's really doing you no good. All of that work in your career, 20, 30, 40 years, and you retire and you're unhappy or you get into a depression, that's tough. And we really look to help coach our clients before that happens so that they can go into retirement knowing what their new purpose is. And it's exciting to me hearing what our clients are doing in retirement, because the days of sitting on your porch, and maybe with COVID, you have been doing that, on a rocking chair and doing nothing, that's not really what the baby boomers are doing. They're out there traveling when it's safe again. They're volunteering, they're helping grandkids, they're driving Ubers when it's safe. Again, they're out there in their community working with nonprofits, consulting, starting new businesses, buying real estate, doing all these different things to keep their mind and their body and their heart active to, again, inspire them for a new purpose, whatever that is. And that's exciting. And so I think that's something that you can avoid with a little bit of pre-work before you retire. And there's certainly some tips and ideas that we have to help you find that. I also have engaged with a retirement life coach. So if you really want to get into it and you're really struggling with it, I'm happy to work with her, and we can introduce certainly to you to her. Again, I'm not endorsing her, but just the point is there are other professionals out there that can take it to the next level. But we are not afraid to talk about it with our clients. We love talking about it, and we love giving you ideas on what you can do to embrace your new purpose. All right, so good. So that's all the time that I do have for you today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm out there on 4 social media platforms. So I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. If we're not already connected, please feel free to send me a friend connection request. I love building out my network. Falcon Wealth Advisors is also on the same platforms. So if you want to connect with our company, you can see more great content by our company. So that's, again, at Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. As far as fun activities, forgive my semi-casual attire here. I'm gonna maybe go play golf today. It's warming up in Kansas City. So that's what's new. I'm excited. Our furniture, I think, is going to be delivered very soon to the Augusta room, hopefully in the next couple weeks. So that's cool. Been hanging out with our favorite Pooch Einstein. I know the vaccines are starting to roll out through the population. So that's exciting. So like I said, hope all of you out there stay safe and healthy. And thank you so much for tuning in, and hope you have a great week.